We love coffee, and we drink it daily. Did you know it takes roughly 4,000 coffee beans to yield 1 pound of roasted coffee? That's the annual output of one tree. That's why it's important to drink local, organic, and fair trade coffee. So we scoped out this local coffee shop in Eugene, Oregon to learn a little bit more about a good cup of joe.
Hey, I am. Welcome to Wandering Goat.
Thanks.
You want to look around?
Let's go.
So this is it. This is behind the bar. We got all of our organic vegan baked goods here, all of our coffees for sale. Everybody's working hard this morning, making espresso drinks.
This place is buzzing with workers as well as locals. It seems to be the daily hangout. So how many coffees do you actually roast?
Anywhere between 10 and 20. It depends on the seasonality. Every country kind of harvests at different times, and the way that they ship is different. We try to highlight the very, very best coffees that are available at that time. So that's sort of our focus when it comes to roasting.
Very cool. So kind of ever evolving. I like it.
All the time.
Awesome. We make our way back to the roasting area. I'm anxious to find out what goes on beyond the cafe walls.
Oh yeah.
So this is where the magic happens,
This is it. This is definitely it. And this is our roaster. The main thing that makes this roaster so sustainable is the way that it reuses smoke. Most roasters, traditional roasters, have your roaster and then you have what's called an afterburner that burns smoke away, so you're not putting all this particulate up in the air. This roaster is unique because it actually uses the smoke coming off of the beans, feeds it back into a burner system that then burns that away, then uses that already heated air to roast the coffee further. So overall, we're using 80% less natural gas, therefore putting out about 80% less CO2.
So you really get to kind of choose your flavor profiles with this then. You can really kind of control
Oh
your
yeah,
cup of coffee.
for any coffee bean that we're putting in there, we generally know more or less what the coffee has to offer. The flexibility and the precision that we get with this machine, we could literally pick 100 different flavor profiles for one bean.
Speaking of flavor profiles, if you wander a little deeper back, you find a tasting room, where cupping seems to be an ongoing project of fine-tuning the perfect blend. With a coffee tree in the room, there is a source of inspiration and a reminder of where the process begins. How many trees are in one bag?
One coffee tree makes about 1 pound of coffee in a whole year. So in one of these bags is about 150 trees.
So this one bag is basically one farm for 1 year.
Yep.
That's crazy. So take us through the process of coffee from the time that you get it in your doors to the time it's in our cup.
Coffee starts as we get it in these sacks of about 150 pounds of raw green coffee. They're pretty hard. You wouldn't want to brew anything out of them. They definitely don't smell or taste anything like coffee. This particular coffee here comes from El Salvador, grown by the Menendez family. This is a coffee that's exclusive to the Wandering Goat. We have a plot of land that's set aside. It's won a number of professional cupping awards. So it's a very, very, very high-end coffee that only exists in a handful of bags in a year. So we start with the green coffee, load it into a scale, and then that scale has a vacuum, sucks up into the roaster. And then the roasting process takes about 15 minutes. Coffee dumps out, it's cooled, and it's brown, it's ready to go. We're taking different roasted coffees and using them, for different blends, or bagging them up and shipping them out. And that's whether it's going out to our wholesale accounts at restaurants, grocery stores, coffee shops, or we're pulling it right into our cafe and it gets used immediately.
All right, so what's your favorite blend or your favorite cup?
Definitely espresso.
Yeah, and I definitely think you have some of the best, so maybe we should go grab a cup.
Yeah, let's try some.
Let's go. 3 chupacabras for here, please.
All right.
All right, Michael, so anything I need to know about proper espresso tasting?
Well, the crema, which is the emulsion of oils that happens inside espresso, begins to collapse very quickly. So as soon as you get it, you want to cleanse your palate just a little bit.
Okay.
Now I usually take mine down in about 2 or 3 sips, and the first one's going to be all crema, should be nice and thick, and then the rest is going to be the hot liquid.
Okay. Or just 2?
Sometimes. Depends on how thirsty you are. We like to have sort of like a citrusy lemon drop up front that fades into a berry that comes from the dry processed African coffee in there, and then kind of ends in sort of a baker's chocolate, like a bittersweet. That's sort of the flavor narrative that ideally should be happening in the chupacabra.
And that's about what I tasted.
Yeah.
So yeah. If there was one thing that you would leave as a lasting impression on coffee drinkers, what would that be?
When you get a cup of coffee that tastes really awesome, you're really tasting the culmination of a very, very long chain of events.
So it's a lot of farmer love that goes into that cup. So be proud to drink it and remember that it's a delicacy and a privilege. Fully loaded and ready to hit the road. With all this espresso, I think I might actually become the Wandering Goat.